Hi, do you have any idea what this handcrafted artifact might be? We found it on the banks of the Danube River in Germany and were stumped. Was it used in fishing, textile production, or something else entirely? We're going to need your help on this one, so let's dive in. Welcome to Small Things Big, where we uncover big stories hidden in small, mysterious objects my son and I dug up. We do the digging and we hope you can help us identifying. Our goal is to figure out what these items are, what they were used for, and who might have owned them. And today's discovery? Well, it's a real head scratcher that even AI can figure out. Our story takes us to Sigmaringen, a picturesque town nestled in Baden-Württemberg, Germany. Home to around 18,000 people, it's perched at 600 meters above sea level in the Swabian Alps, right along the upper Danube. It's best known for the magnificent Sigmaringen castle, a hilltop fortress dating back to the 11th century and once the ancestral seat of the Hohenzollern dynasty that later ruled over Prussia and the German Empire. The castle houses a museum with an impressive collection related to the region's history. Sigmaringen has deep roots from Roman roads to royal rulers. Its rich history makes it a magnet for history buffs. It has several monumental buildings, among which, apart from the famous castle, there are the St. John's Church, the Hedinger Church, the Old Town Hall, and the Monarchy in Inzigoven with its nearby picturesque Devil's Bridge. The town is located on the banks of the Danube River, offering stunning views of surrounding landscapes, including forests and rolling hills, making it a popular destination for nature lovers and hikers. We found the artifact just 50 meters from the river, digging through thick, sticky clay that made it hard to even walk. But once we uncovered it, we knew we had something curious. Here's the object after cleaning. I'll be honest, this might just be a chunk of modern scrap metal. But it looks handcrafted and has intriguing details that makes us believe it could be more than meets the eye. No obvious clues though. Could it relate to fishing, textiles, cutlery, decoration? Let's explore. It measured about 37 mm tall, 14 mm wide and 1.5 mm thick. Judging from the break on one end, it likely had 2 teeth originally. It therefore may have been discarded after becoming unusable rather than simply lost. There are several signs that this piece was handcrafted. The first clue is that the lines, which were probably hammered rather than engraved, are irregularly placed. The second clue is the 2 holes being misaligned, as well as misshapen or not circular. That kind of imperfection suggests it wasn't mass-produced. By the way, if you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. It will help the video reach more like-minded people. Since this is our first video, we're also keen to know how you think we can improve, so please let us know in the comments which parts you like most. Usually we try to identify the object's function at this stage. But we're a bit stuck, so we're turning to you. Drop a comment if you have any ideas. Let's walk through a few possibilities. Because of its proximity to the river, our first thought was that it might be some kind of fishing tool, like a fishhook disgorger. You know, the type of tools you also sometimes find on a Swiss knife. The holes in our artifact could maybe have served to hold a wooden handle. Disgorgers were used to remove hooks lodged deep in a fish's mouth. While these tools are common today, and recreational fishing is around since at least the Roman era, there are no clear records of catch and release fishing for fish stock conservation before the 20th century. To conclude, our object feels too old for a 20th century disgorger. Another idea is that it's a type of 2-pronged fork, like those used for pickles or tomatoes. Similar items date back centuries, just look at this example from the 8th century Iran. The texture could have held with grip, and the holes may have held a handle, but again, that's just a theory. Given the location, we also considered whether it could be part of a tool used in making fishing nets. Some antique netting needles, as exemplified in this French 18th century engraving, have protrusions, but that's really where the similarities end. And finally, our most imaginative theory, it would be really nice if it were a figurine. Maybe a stylized human with a head and eyes, a body and 2 legs, but no arms. It's not unheard of, especially considering the excavated artifacts from the Hallstatt or Urnfield cultures in the area. But still, we have to be realistic, it just looks too functional and a bit too modern for that. The object appears to be made of a single piece of copper alloy. Its reddish-brown color and green corrosion suggests copper, which reacts with moisture and air to form a green patina. If any metallurgy experts are watching, what's the chemical difference between natural patina and bronze disease? Let us know in the comments. Dating this item has been tricky, to say the least. With some finds we can use typology or context clues, but here we're in the dark. So let's go back to basics and look at the habitation history, comparative dating and the object's material and manufacturing. We found it in the Sigmaringen city district of Leiden, which is illustrated on this map from the late 18th century, and which is where we found our artifact. Let's walk through its habitation history. This region has been inhabited for tens of thousands of years, starting with the Upper Paleolithic period or Stone Age, when the fertile and climate-friendly region of Baden-Württemberg was already inhabited, as evidenced by the famous Lion Man figurine, a prehistoric ivory sculpture discovered in Hohenstein-Stadel. Archaeological finds indicate that the earliest settlements were from the Bronze Age, and in specific the Urnfield culture, as evidenced by this urn that was found at a 25 km from Leiden, in the village Trugtelfingen. In the Iron Age or Hallstatt culture, the river Danube served as a major transport route for trade by the Celts, who frequently travelled between Leiden and the 14 km downstream settlement of Heuneburg, which was founded approximately 600 years before Common Era and is an important Celtic site and considered the oldest city or settlement north from the Alps. From 50 to 80 years Common Era, the river Danube formed the northern border of the Roman Empire. At that time, Leiden was situated at the Danube Ford, which was a link in an important Roman road via Istrum that connected Switzerland with the city of Mogontiacum, today's Mainz. This map shows the situation in approximately 125 Common Era. The Roman road network had expanded considerably and Leiden was still situated along a main road that connected today's Milan with Germanica Inferior and Noviomagus or Nijmegen in today's the Netherlands. 2 Roman villas, which were fortified farmhouses, have been excavated near Leiden and were dated to approximately the 3rd century Common Era. Several artifacts, among which a Roman javelin or pilum and a lancet, are part of the museum collection in the Sigmaringen castle. In the High Middle Ages, Leiden got under the rule of the Habsburg dynasty, which was founded in 1282 and steadily increased its territories to cover large swaths of Europe. It ended during World War I with the proclamation of the Republic of German Austria and the First Hungarian Republic in late 1918. In the 1300s, the village Leiden was populated by merely 200 inhabitants. In the following centuries, the village fell under the rule of several counts. In 1354, the nearby monastery of Inzighoven, as depicted on this illustration, was founded as part of the Franciscan order. From 1576 to 1606, Leiden came under the rule of Count Charles II of Hohenzollern-Sigmaringen. The 30 Years' War, of which the Battle of Nördlingen in 1634, taking place approximately 100 km from Leiden, was a major event. The war brought a period of disease and pillage to Leiden. In these times, the region was characterized by agriculture and fishery. Towards the end of the 18th century, Leiden was influenced by the French Revolution, and during the Napoleonic Wars, many Leidens emigrated to the east and later to the Americas for socio-economic reasons. This painting shows the famous Battle of Ulm in 1805, taking place approximately 70 kilometers from Leiden. In 1810, Leiden came under the rule of the Principality of Hohenzollern-Sigmaringen. In the 20th century, Leiden was, like the rest of Germany, greatly impacted by the two world wars. With the construction of the new Danube Bridge in 1949, Leiden joined a new period of economic boom post-World War II. This is where we'll end this brief history summary. But here's the thing. With such a long history, it doesn't really help us narrow down a time frame. We've also looked at other artifacts we found at the same site. At that time we weren't quite restrictive with our detector settings, so we found bits of hardware, door hinges and small scrap pieces. If you think you can identify any of these, please leave a comment. Unfortunately, nothing we found offers a clear date. Most of them could easily come from the 18th to 20th century, so again, not much to go on. As for the copper alloy, well, humans have been working with copper for over 10,000 years, so that doesn't help us either. So where does this leave us? Honestly, we're still guessing. Our leading theory at this point is that it was some kind of fishing tool, maybe used any time between the medieval period and the 20th century. Our secondary theories include textile or cutlery use or even decorative art. But right now it remains a mystery that, since it's a handcrafted item, we still would very much like to solve. And that's where you come in. If you have any insights, expertise or even wild guesses, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. We'll do a follow-up video if we manage to identify it, especially with your help. Thanks for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed this mystery and love stories about archaeology, metal detecting and ancient objects, please like and subscribe. It really helps us reach more curious minds like you. And if you want to hear the story of a 17th century fob seal we uncovered and a mysterious aristocrat behind it, click the link right here. It won't disappoint you. Hope to see you in the next video.